This hearing involves the evaluation of Mrs. Ioana Chironet, judge at the Chisinau District Court Ioana office, if I pronounce it correctly, candidate for the Superior Council of Magistracy. I would like to welcome you, Mrs. Chironet. I will start by explaining why this commission is here, and I will introduce you to those present in the room. We are here to conduct a public hearing in the context of the evaluation process aimed at assessing the judicial candidates for the position of the Superior Council of Magistracy. The Commission is acting in accordance with the law number 26/2022, and I quote, on certain measures relating to the selection of candidates for position of member in the self-administration bodies of judges and prosecutors, end of quote, and in accordance with the rules of procedure and the evaluation rules of the Commission, which have been adopted by the Commission pursuant to provisions to this law. In front of you, you have the 6 members of the Commission, and in alphabetical order, I will introduce them to you. We have over there Victoria Hanley, we have Nadezhda Riptivshi, we have Vitaly Miron, Tatiana Raducanu, Nona Tzotoria, and myself, Herman van Hebel, the chair of the Commission. The Commission is furthermore assisted by a number of members of the Secretariat that supports the Commission. Also present today is a photographer, as you can see, who will be taking photographs at the opening of this hearing for the first few minutes of our hearings. We are also pleased to have members of the public and representatives of the media present at these hearings. For those in attendance, please be advised of the following rules during the hearing. You're not permitted to take photographs. Members of the media can arrange to obtain copies of photographs taken by the photographer. You're also not permitted to record the hearing. The proceedings is being recorded and will be available online as soon as possible after the hearing via the website of the Commission, and the address is www.vetting.md. We ask you also to remain silent throughout the hearing, and we all ask you also to respect COVID regulations. Throughout the hearing, the members of the Commission will remain seated, and also you are invited hereby to remain seated during this meeting and during this hearing as well. During the hearing, one or more members of the Commission will put questions to you, and I would ask you to answer them truthfully and completely. Your explanations are of course important to the Commission in verifying your financial and ethical integrity. During the hearing, interpretation between Romanian and English will be provided. And to allow accurate interpretation, I would kindly ask you to speak clearly and slowly. As noted, the hearing, including your statements, are being recorded, and the public parts of the hearing will be made available in both Romanian and English online within 24 hours after this hearing. In formulating our questions, we will take into account your privacy and, where required and possible, the privacy of your family members and close persons. So we will leave out unnecessary details relating to, for example, ID numbers, bank account numbers, addresses of real estate, and the like. For the protection of your own privacy, we ask you, of course, to do the same. I will start with a brief overview of the procedural background of this evaluation, and that will be followed by questions from members of the Commission. Mrs. Victoria Hanley will start with asking questions, and then followed by Mrs. Nadezhda Riptivshi afterwards. We will try to keep our questions short and to the point, and we ask that your answers will be short and to the point as well. The expected duration of this hearing is probably up to a maximum of an hour. At the end of the hearing, you will be given the opportunity to make a brief closing comment. It is, of course, for you to decide whether or not you would like to make use of that opportunity. As a judge, you are, of course, familiar with the need to respect proper order of the proceedings, and the Commission expects full respect of such order by all participants. According to the evaluation rules of the Commission, in case of a violation of this order, the chairperson is entitled to issue a warning and, if required, to exclude a candidate from the hearing. But I hope and expect, of course, that there will be no need to make use of this power. On 8 July 2022, the Commission sent you a request for submission of the 5-year declaration of assets and personal interests. And on 15 July, you submitted your 5-year declaration. The Commission also asked candidates to voluntarily complete and submit an ethics questionnaire. And you also did so, and you did so on the 5th of July 2022. The Commission sent you a first round of questions on 30 August 2022, and your responses were submitted on 2 September, in which you mentioned that some information would be sent later due to late response by the institution in possession of the relevant information. On 9 September, you sent the additional information mentioned in your reply of 2 September. You were asked a total number of 6 questions, including 15 sub-questions, out of which 4 questions included a request for further documentation. On 22nd September, the Commission sent you a second round of only 2 questions, including 3 sub-questions, out of which 2 related to requests for further documentation. You answered all questions and sub-questions and produced all the required documents. The Commission really appreciates the timeliness and completeness of your answers, as this has, of course, facilitated our evaluation considerably. I will now turn over the hearing to Mrs. Victoria Henley to commence the questioning.
Good afternoon, Judge Chironet. I'm Victoria Henley, and I will be asking you questions about 2 areas that we have questions about. And I believe we've furnished you a factual description, which I will read first, just to orient us, and then I'll ask you some questions about it. And the first matter has to do with the selling of 3 land plots in the village of Criulin district. On 16 April 2019, you sold 3 land plots which you had inherited in a village of Criulin. In your NIA declaration for 2019, you indicated the amount of 43,000 lei as the selling price for these land plots. In your tax declaration, you indicated the sales price of 16,680 lei. You did declare the capital increase and paid the relevant taxes. When you were asked by the Commission about the difference between the price on your NIA declaration and your tax declaration, you explained that the correct price is the one declared to the tax service, namely 16,680 lei. This is also confirmed by the sales purchase contracts for the 3 land plots that you have provided to the Commission. You indicated to the Commission that the price of 43,000 lei in your NIA declaration was a mistake. So the first questions I'm going to ask you are kind of just to establish the facts. Hopefully they are yes or no and can be answered easily, and then there'll be some questions providing you an opportunity to explain towards the end. Could you please confirm that in 2019 you sold the 3 land plots of land in a village in the district of Criulin?
Yes.
And please confirm that the amount of the sales price was 16,680 lei?
Yes.
And please confirm that on your 2019 NIA declaration, the sales price was indicated as 43,000 lei rather than 16,680 lei?
Da.
Yes.
And please confirm that the amount listed as the sales price on your 2019 CET 18 form was 16,680 lei.
Da.
Yes.
And please confirm that when you were asked about this transaction by the Commission on 30 August 2022, you initially informed the Commission that you had indicated the correct price in both the NIA declaration as well as the fiscal declaration, but that you would verify the information and get back to the Commission with details.
Da, așa am declarat.
Yes, that is what I said. And later I looked into it and I found that there's been something that was omitted thus in the NIA declaration.
And please confirm that on 9 September, you sent the Commission an email informing that the correct price was 16,680 lei, as declared in your fiscal declaration, and that you attached the sales purchase contracts confirming the same price.
Da.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And please confirm that on 9 September, you sent the Commission an email informing that the price of 43,000 lei that you had indicated on your NIA declaration for 2019 was a mistake.
Da.
Okay. Is there
Yes.
anything further you would like to explain in connection with that error?
Atunci s-au îndeplinit mai multe
At that time, well, we were filling in several declarations, and it is likely that there was a mistake, and I noticed this error only when the question was raised. I did not notice before that. When I filed the declaration, I did not notice that error.
And so the correct amount was, however, reflected on the tax forms.
Da.
Great. Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Now I'd like to ask you about a loan of 140,000 lei from 2019. And again, I'll read you the factual background and then ask you some specific questions about it. On 3 May 2019, you received a loan of 140,000 lei at 9% interest for 2 years due in 2021. You declared this loan in your 2019 and 2020 annual declarations, but you did not declare it in your 2021 declaration. In your answers to the Commission of September 2, 2022, you provided the copy of the loan agreement and explained that you did not declare the debt in 2021 because the monthly payment for the credit reimbursement was roughly 6,500 lei, and in 2021 you only had 4 remaining payments to make, which is below the 15 average salaries per economy, and that the law did not require you to declare this debt. A few questions. Please confirm that you took out a loan in the amount of 140,000 lei in 2019 and paid it off in April of 2021.
Da.
Yes, I confirm.
Great. Please confirm that you declared the loan in your NIA declarations for 2019 and 2020.
Yes, I confirm.
And please confirm that you did not declare the loan in your NIA declaration for 2021.
Da.
Yes.
And could you please explain why you did not declare the loan in your 2021 NIA declaration?
Because the amount that was left to pay was very small, just 4 months were left, and it did not exceed the amount of the debt as set out in the law, and that's why I did not declare it.
I have no further questions.
Thank you very much. Then I now ask our other colleague, Nadezhda, to continue with the questions on her side.
Da, bună ziua încă o dată și eu voi continua în aceeași...
Greetings, I will continue in the same way, and thank you for answering the questions briefly indeed for the yes and no questions. So in 2017, you sold a plot of land, a house, and an accessory building to the house, which you had inherited in a village in Creuleni, And in the declaration that you presented to the National Integrity Authority, you set out the amount of 6,000 euros, as it is also said in the contract. That's the same price as in the contract. And at that time, that was approximately 123,000 lei. You also declared the amount of 123,000 lei. You reported this in the tax declaration that you filed with the tax authorities, and you paid the related taxes. Later, you sent the Commission the sales and purchase agreement, and also you've sent bank statements that showed two deposits to your account, one that was about 200,000 lei and another one that was 10,000 lei, and was the same amount that were withdrawn the following day, or the day after they were deposited on your account. When asked about the discrepancy between the sales price on the NIA declaration and the amount of funds deposited and withdrawn, you explained that the purchaser, had gotten a loan from the bank worth 205,000 lei, which is more than the contract price, the 123,000 lei, that is, to cover the expenditure related to renovation and connection to the public utilities of the property. The full amount of the loan was deposited to your account, and then that amount was withdrawn, and the total amount was deposited reportedly because the bank insisted on it. And you mentioned that you kept the amount that was set out in the contract, that is 123,000 lei, and that you gave the purchasers the remaining funds, which is about 79,000 lei. He also submitted to the Commission a declaration signed by the purchaser attesting to the same accounts that you shared with us. And you've also submitted the loan agreement for the amount of 205,000 lei. Now, please confirm that in 2017 you sold the plot of land, house, and accessory building in the village of a district of Friuli. I confirm, and the price was 6,000 euros. That's right. It's the same amount that you indicated in the NIA declaration. Right. In that same year, that is for 2017, you declared in the tax declaration the amount of 123,409 lei, and you've also paid the relevant taxes. Is that correct? Correct. Please confirm that when the Commission asked you about it on the 22nd of September, you confirmed that the property had been sold for 6,000 euros. And you've annexed to that answer those two orders for that amount as set out, as in 202,000 and the other one for 10. That is correct. These were the orders regarding the cash collection. When the Commission asked you about this difference, the difference between the deposited amounts and the price that was set out in the agreement, you informed the Commission about the fact that the purchasers had obtained a loan that was larger than the purchase price that was set out in the contract, only to be able to cover the expenditure related to the renovation of the house and to the connection, and to cover the expenses related to the connection to utilities, to public utilities. That is correct. Please confirm that you informed the Commission that the bank required that the full amount of the loan be paid to you. Yes. Please confirm that you also informed the Commission that you retained only the amount of 123,409 lei, and that the difference, 79,561, was returned to the purchaser, was given to the purchaser. I confirm. Please confirm that you furnished the Commission a declaration signed off by the purchaser attesting to the same version of the events that you presented, and that they provided a credit contract, a loan contract, for the amount of 205,000 lei. I confirm. Please explain whether you personally were asked to submit any information to the bank with regards to this transaction.
Eu nu mi-amintesc
I do not remember the details of this. It happened a long time ago. But indeed, the bank at that time asked for us to confirm that we were selling the house. So they wanted to know what was the purpose of the loan given to the family Straton. They wanted to buy the house, but the house required some further investments. And that's why the Stratons asked for a larger amount. And we didn't think that after so many years this issue would resurface like this. And we just confirmed that we were selling the house, and then we just did things as set out in the contract. So it was a young family. She was pregnant, and I looked at them, and I'd never even thought that many years later there would be any questions about this affair. Do you know if the bank received a copy of the sales and purchase agreement that indicated the amount 6,000? I don't know, I can't confirm. Could you explain again, just to wrap up the questions about this matter, why did you agree to receive an amount larger than the one set out in the agreement? To be honest, it's now that the questions were raised, it's now that I tried to go back into that and try to remember what has happened back then. The lady indeed said that there's going to be a bigger amount, and we didn't mind it because the house is in the countryside. Nobody had lived there for many years, and indeed investments into it were required, and they didn't have the money to invest. So that's why they went for this loan, and I didn't have any second thoughts about it. I didn't even think that this issue would resurface. So at that time, I didn't realize I was doing something wrong. Were you a judge at that time? I was. I was at work, I had a lot of work to do, everything happened in a haste, very fast, and I did not pay this attention to the details. Thank you. Now I would like us to move over to the next question, to the next issue. It's related to the bank accounts. Again, I will read the facts and then the questions will follow. According to the information available to the Commission, during 2012-2015, you had one bank account opened in 2003 and last used in May 2008, and there was another bank account, one that was linked to the salary, and it was one opened in 2014 that is being still used to the present day. Do you need... Oh, okay, you have that. So according to the legal provisions in force at the time between 2012 and 2015, so at that time the law required the subjects of declarations, the declarers, to declare all bank accounts. This means that you personally, for 2012-2015, you were supposed to declare the bank account opened in 2003, and for the years 2014-2015, you were supposed to declare the bank account opened in 2014. However, these two bank accounts were not declared in your declarations for the years 2012-2015. When you were asked about the accounts, you said in your answer that indeed in your annual declarations you never indicated your bank accounts and you only declared the amounts that constituted the revenue of yourself and of your family members, as well as the amounts that constituted debt. Now the questions. Please confirm, first of all, that you had indeed a bank account opened in 2003 that you last used in May 2008, and a bank account opened in 2014 that you use to this day. Yes, I confirm. Please explain why you did not declare these two bank accounts, the first one for the period 2012-2015 and the other for the period 2014-2015. As regards the bank accounts from 2003 to 2008, I really don't remember what was that account about. It was perhaps an account linked to salary. But as for the 2014 account being used to this day, it's a salary account opened with Victoria Bank. And annually, we receive information on the annual revenue, and we introduce that in the declarations. So I did not think that we had to introduce to declare the accounts in the declarations. I don't know. I can't find an explanation why I did not specify these accounts. But as for the money that we had and the debts that we had, I've always declared that. Thank you. No further questions.
Okay, I think you would like to, Mr. Miron, if you would like to continue your questions, go ahead, please.
Madam Chironet, I'm also happy to. I'm also greeting you here. I would like to ask a follow-up question. You, in a way, answered it. I just want to make sure that I got it right, what you said. And I mean the mistake that seems to have happened in the NIA declaration for 2019. Would like you to tell me precisely when did you realize that there's been a mistake made in this declaration? When I was asked by the Commission to provide explanations with regards to it, that's when I realized that there was a mistake. And the second question in this context, were any measures taken to correct that error? Not till this moment in time. I physically did not have the possibility to. I was overwhelmed with work at my work.
Are there no other colleagues who would like to take the floor on this moment? Okay, thank you. According to our program, I would like to give you the opportunity now to make a brief closing comment, if you would like to do so. So if you would like, then please go ahead.
I would like to thank you for all the time that you dedicated to my case. Thank you for being understanding in relation to myself today, and I hope that you will come to the correct decision considering the information that I shared with you today. And I wish you the best of luck, and I wish everyone, all the candidates, the best of luck if we get to make it further. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. This will bring us now to the end of the hearing. I thank you again very much for your comments and for answering the questions of the members of the Commission. Now the Commission will withdraw for deliberations and will come with a recent decision, of course, later. As much as possible, the Commission will strive at delivering a decision within a month after the date of this hearing. I hereby declare the hearing closed, and thanks again for being with us here this afternoon. Thank you.
Mulțumesc. Eu tot mulțumesc.